everyone. Today, I'll be ranking some villains. My ranking system will be based on 4 things: morals, quirk, redemption level, and the reasoning for becoming a villain. Now, instead of S to D, it will be from a good, cruel villain to a possible good citizen. I'm not going to be ranking every villain I've ever faced, but if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. The first person I'm going to be ranking is Dobby, who, as I now know, is my friend's eldest brother. His morals are a bit hypocritical in my opinion. He wants to expose false justices, which I would assume is because he is tired of people pretending to be good and then do bad things behind the scenes. But he uses his morals as a way to justify his own bad behavior. He doesn't believe in true heroes anyways, which insinuates that everyone is a false hero and deserves to be exposed. But that simply isn't true. It feels like a bullshit reason he tells himself just to make his own actions a bit better. He wants to expose those who do terrible things, but then goes on to do even worse things himself. On a redemption basis, I feel as if he could have eventually been redeemed into a respectable person after years and years of therapy. But he was unwilling to work past his own villainy, as far as I know. His actions were terrible, and while his mind could have been redeemed, he still deserved to face years in prison. His quirk is one that I find rather fascinating. He has a replica of his father's quirk, but it harms him ultimately. It is great for destructive purposes, which aids him in his actions. His reasoning for becoming a villain is because of the years of abuse he faced from his father, pro-hero endeavor. However, I feel at some point, bad actions cannot be blamed on the past and how you were raised. You need to take responsibility and aim to be a good person. I feel sympathy, but hundreds of people face abuse and hardships from their loved ones, and yet they do not kill innocent people. My friend, his younger brother, faced some of that same abuse and is now one of the best heroes I know. I'm sorry, Toya, for what happened to you, but you did not have to choose this path. I'm ranking Dobby in the second category. I hope you can live the rest of your life finding comfort in your family. Next person, Stain. Now, there's not much I can publicly speak about regarding my personal experiences with this villain. However, I will say that he can definitely be redeemed. He believes in true heroes such as All Might, and with my own experiences, he called me a true hero. His morals are the same as Dobby's, as Dobby seemed to be a big fan of his, except they have a true difference. Stain believes in exposing false heroes, but he also sees that there are true, good heroes in this world. His morals are iffy, but I personally believe that they are good morals to consider in this hero society we live in. His actions, however, are terrible. He injured my close friend's older brother, and harms anyone who stands in his way of exposing others, though he did turn himself into the police after bravely saving me from an unknown. His quirk, paralyzing people by drinking their blood, could be used for good. It could be used as a way to stop other villains, but instead, he used it to stop heroes. He faced the consequences of his actions, and in the end, he worked to help heroes, which is rare to say about most villains. He has bad actions, but good morals. He acted as a hero in the end. Rest in peace, Akaguro. Overhaul. I do not like this villain in any capacity. He cannot be redeemed. He was cruel and awful to a sweet little girl named Eri. He wanted to use her quirk to get rid of the hero's special ability that allows them to do good, while using his own quirk to harm others. His morals to me make no sense. He even harmed those who were on his side in order to get what he wanted and to prove dominance. He was the reason for a great hero's death, Sir Night-Eye. He was the reason that Eri couldn't smile. He was the reason why Lemillion, the person I look up to, lost his quirk for a while. He caused great pain and suffering. He was cruel. His quirk could have been used to save others from destruction, but instead he used it to harm. His reason for being a villain was to revert society back to traditional quirklessness, which is selfish. As someone who has personally dealt with quirklessness, it is not people's fault for having a quirk. It was society's natural evolution. Quirkless discrimination is a real problem, yes, but there is no reason to permanently harm others in this society. He is cruel. Enjoy prison. Mr. Compress. I feel as if he was a follower of his family's history and of those he chose to make his leaders. He, like many others, wanted to fight against corrupt heroes, but he did so in a way that aided the harm to innocents. I can appreciate the loyalty he had for those who he followed in the showmanship-like nature, but he harmed others. If he wanted to expose those who are corrupt, he could have done so in a way that did not harm others. He is now facing his actions in prison, and I hope that he can be redeemed. His quirk could be used for good, and if he was good, it could have been used to capture villains and bring them to another location. It could have also been used to save civilians and bring them to a safe place quickly. I hope that you find peace. Spinner. I feel as if he was also a follower of those who were much more powerful. Clearly, he was a follower of Staines that tried to abide by his morals. He was definitely one of the villains who were morally sound and acted with heroic behaviors at times. He would oppose those whom he sided with for the sake of his own morals. I believe his behaviors were definitely a result of the discrimination that those with mutation quirks face to this day, which is a major problem in our society. I believe that due to his morals, he can definitely be redeemed, and I trust that our advancements in technology can be used to aid him in that redemption. He, like Mr. Compress, was a follower. I hope that you recover well. All for one. He is the worst of the worst. He took people's quirks for his own selfish gains, manipulated the vulnerable to be his pawns, killed those who stood in his way, injured the best heroes to leave them at a disadvantage. He was emotionally incestuous with his brother, and for years he tortured the people of this world. He enslaved those who followed him to cause mass violence. He is a grown man who has done terrible things with little to no remorse. He could not be redeemed. He used his quirk to take things from others and use them for harm, when his quirk could have been used to give people of this world good opportunities. He is the worst, and I am unfortunately glad for his death. Magne was a villain who died at the hands of Overhaul, as I have come to learn. I don't know much about her, but from my understanding, she was very loyal to her friends and to those whom she followed. She aided in the kidnapping of Kachan, which leads me to think not so well of her morals. Her quirk was magnetism, which I believe could have been great to protect civilians and capture villains. Rest in peace, Magne. You could have been a great hero had you changed your ways. Kurogiri. Kurogiri was a villain whose quirk was Warpgate. Warpgate is a very powerful quirk that allows easy transfer between locations. Kurogiri is actually a Nomu, created from the passed-away hero known as Oboro Shuriken. Unfortunately, his mind was warped and he was turned into a loyal follower of All for One and Toma Shigaraki. He officially dies trying to protect Shigaraki, and could not be redeemed to the person he once was. He was a follower made from a past hero. Rest in peace. Gentle Criminal. Gentle Criminal was a criminal known for posting videos online of his unlawful deeds. He claims to have done these unlawful deeds to those who have been unlawful and ungentle. His quirk, elasticity, could have been used to save others in the correct circumstance. He worked closely with his partner, Labrava. Labrava aided him in his deeds, and they both had the goal of wanting Gentle Criminal to be known in history. My hope for this section is that this allows to happen. He and his partner turned out to be truly good people, the best villains that I have ever been up against. I saw myself in him, and I admired the love Labrava shared with Gentle. Her quirk lets her be a great sidekick, as it powers up those whom she loves. Gentle and Labrava eventually turned themselves in, and Gentle attempted to take most of the blame for their deeds. They are now on their way to becoming great people, and even helped save the school during the war. I hope their names are remembered throughout time, and that they live a wonderful life together. Toga. Toga is a very complex and love-driven person. I have had a decent amount of run-ins with her. At first, I did not appreciate her or her actions in the slightest, but she redeemed herself and proved to be a good person in the end. She confessed her love for my good friend and saved her life by giving up her own, so I owe Toga nothing but gratitude. Her actions started from the discrimination she once faced due to her quirk, which allowed her to transform into other people once she drank their blood. Her behavior is a direct result of those around her, as she was a teenager just like me. She was young, obsessive, and impressionable. She could have and turned out to be a good person. Rest in peace, Himiko Toga. Thank you for saving my friend. Twice. Twice was a man of split personality due to his quirk. His quirk allowed him to make many copies of himself and others, but copying himself led to have severe mental handicaps. His actions were caused by those he followed and his mental illnesses. He was deeply loyal to his other villains because of the acceptance towards him, which is a big reason why he committed crimes. His actions were unredeemable, but if he had gone down a different path, he could have gotten help and gone on to be a good person. Rest in peace. Finally, we are going to talk about Tomura Shigaraki, also known as Tink of Shimura. He is possibly the most complicated villain I have ever faced. Throughout his childhood, he was severely abused by his father from a very young age. Then, when his quirk eventually developed, he accidentally killed his loved ones due to the dangers that come with it. He was then directly groomed and manipulated into violence from such a young age through All for One's influence. Then, as he grew up, he continued that violence due to his hate for Hero Society, which is likely because no one had saved him. When we eventually faced off, he died. He didn't deserve the cruelty that was pushed upon him. He didn't deserve to face the life he lived. His quirk, the passing of his loved ones, isn't his fault. He was a child manipulated into a villain. I'm sorry, Tenko, that I didn't get to you sooner. I'm sorry that I couldn't save you, that I couldn't be the hero that you deserved, that you needed. I hope that in the next life, you live a life full of peace and comfort. Rest in peace, Tenko. All these people faced hardship and tragedy. Most of them deserve to be able to rest in the afterlife, and their stories need to be taken to heart. Those who are in recovery should be able to live the rest of their lives in peace. I am sorry to those whose family were impacted due to these villains' actions, and to those who lost their lives. I strive to save who I can. May every innocent who passed rest in serenity. A lot of these villains became who they were because of the discrimination they faced, their mental illnesses, and a lack of support. That's why spreading awareness is one of the most heroic things a person can do. If you, the viewer, or someone you know is having a hard time, please get the help and support you need. On screen will be a list of numbers and places you can go to for support and help. There will be numbers for disability support, discrimination support, LGBTQ plus support, mental illness support, and more. I will also put it in the description. If you need extra support, email me, and I will try my best to help. Thank you for listening to my video. Please remember to spread kindness and help others. Go beyond. Plus Ultra.